This game of Big Deck is brought to you by Karthus, Tyrant of Jund. Karthus, for when games dragged on a little too long. Welcome to a game of Big Deck Usurper featuring Chris as the king. The rest of the positions will be revealed over the course of the game. Chris starts the game and plays Janara, Ashura of War as a land. Rob plays Treasury Thrall as a land. Ronnie plays Mad Rush Cyclops as a land. I play Sterling Grove as a land. June plays Rafik of the Mini as a land. Chris plays another land and Rob plays Sleeper's Robe as a land. Ronnie plays Godsire as a land. I play Grand Arbiter Augustine IV as a land. June plays Lignify as a land. Chris plays Blightning as a land. Rob plays Debtor's Knell as a land and casts Simic Signet. Ronnie plays Merfolk Looter as a land and casts Azusa, Lost But Seeking, playing two more lands in the form of Bramble Crush and Centaur Healer. I cast Deprive as a land and then pay 2 life and cast Phyrexian Metamorph, copying Azusa and playing a Fire Spout as a land and Sin Collector as a land. June plays a land and casts Oblivion Stone. Chris plays Dread Return as a land. Rob plays Deadwood Treefolk and casts Asceticism. Ronnie casts Seagate Oracle and puts a card into his hand. Ronnie plays Diabolic Vision as a land. I play Sphinx Summoner, finding Magister Sphinx, and then playing Magister Sphinx as a land, and then Mox Diamond as a land. June plays Siege Gang Commander as a land. Chris plays Thought Flare as a land. Rob Wargates for 3, finding Harmonic Sliver and putting it onto the battlefield. Ronnie plays Mana Reflection. I cast Graveborn Muse and then attack the king for 4. June plays Phyrexian Arena as a land. Chris plays Momentary Blink as a land and then casts Fiend Hunter, exiling my Graveborn Muse. Not having a red source, Rob is unfortunately forced to play Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight as a land. Ronnie plays Garrick Wildspeaker and then pluses it to untap 2 lands. I attack Chris for 3 with my Sphinx Summoner. I cast Illuminarch Ascension, which Chris counterspells. I cast Bloodgift Demon. June plays Lu June as a land and casts Mind Control, stealing my Sphinx Summoner. Chris plays Terminus as a land and casts Batterskull. Rob casts Huntmaster of the Fells, gaining 2 life and making a wolf. At the end of Rob's turn, Ronnie casts Bogran Hellkite, dealing 5 damage to Chris. Ronnie overruns Garrick during his turn and then attacks Chris for lethal with his Hellkite, but Chris is ready with Doomblade. Ronnie casts Gruul Rage Beast, fighting Chris's Fiend Hunter, killing it and returning me my Graveborn Muse. Ronnie also plays Edric, Spymaster of Trist. I lose 1 life and draw an extra card at the beginning of my turn. I Relic Crush Chris's Batterskull and June's Mind Control, returning Sphinx Summoner to my field. I attack Chris for 4 with Azusa and Graveborn Muse, dealing him 4 damage. I play Gruul Charm as a land. June plays a land and casts Archaeomancer, returning Go for the Throat to his hand. Chris casts Phyrexian Rebirth, destroying all creatures and making a 10/10 Artifact Horror token. Rob regenerates his Harmonic Sliver. Rob casts Sepulchral Primordial, getting Bogran Hellkite out of Ronnie's graveyard, Phyrexian Metamorph out of mine, copying Bogran Hellkite, Archaeomancer from June, and Fiend Hunter from Chris. Archaeomancer returns Wargate to Rob's hand. The Bogran Hellkites deal 10 damage to Ronnie. Rob then attacks Ronnie for 2 with Huntmaster. Ronnie casts Zealous Conscripts, targeting Chris's Horror token, but Chris casts Vines of Vastwood, giving the token hexproof. Ronnie casts Sphinx of Magosi, which June Go for the Throats. I cast Spelltwine, exiling the Relic Crush in my graveyard and Phyrexian Rebirth out of Chris's, destroying all creatures and Rob's Asceticism. June suspends Lotus Bloom and plays Achroma's Memorial. Rob plays Teneb the Harpster as a land and casts Shieldred, Whispering 1. Ronnie casts Venser the Sojourner and pluses it to exile one of his lands and have it come back as a land. I sacrifice my Horror token during my upkeep due to Rob's Shieldred, and then cast Luminant Primordial to exile Rob's Shieldred, gaining him 6 life. June casts Frost Titan and attacks Ronnie, killing him and tapping down my Primordial. Chris again does nothing. Rob plays Mimeoplasm, copying Sepulchral Primordial, bringing more creatures onto the battlefield from people's graveyards, including Chris's Fiend Hunter, exiling my Luminant Primordial. I cast Hellrider, and before I can attack Chris for lethal, he Doomblades it. June attacks me with Frost Titan, tapping down Rob's Sepulchral Primordial. Rob attacks me with his untapped creatures, dealing me 7 and killing me. June attacks Rob for 6 with Frost Titan and taps down Rob's Sepulchral Primordial. June plays Slagstorm, dealing 3 damage to all creatures. Chris plays Ox of the Scrap Melter, blowing up Rob's Simic Signet. June plays Worldly Tutor, searching a library, but then Rob Prophetic Bolts June for 4 and looks at the top 4 cards of the same library. June plays Biden of Thassa and then attacks Rob for 6 and keeps the Primordial tapped down and draws a card. Chris plays Aven Riftwatcher and gains 2 life. Rob Aurelia Furies June for 9. Thinking that Rob was the traitor, Chris counters the Fury, which prompts Rob to concede. Rob reveals that he is the guard and June reveals he is the traitor, putting June and the King in a heads-up match. June Mind Shatters Chris for 2, and in response, Chris Beast Within's a Chroma's Memorial, giving June a beast. During Chris's turn, June activates Biden of Thassa, forcing Chris's creatures to attack. June blocks the Scrap Melter with Frost Titan, and then takes 2 damage from Chris's Rift Watcher. Chris casts Consuming Vapors, targeting June. June sacrifices the Beast token and gains Chris 3 life. June attacks Chris with Frost Titan, tapping down Chris's Bird Rival. Chris takes 6 damage and June draws a card from his Biden. June plays Ingot Chewer and has to blow up his own Biden. Chris rebounds Consuming Vapors with June sacrificing his Elemental and gaining Chris 3 life. Chris then casts Yawgmoth's Will, replaying Consuming Vapors, and gaining Chris 6 life when June sacrifices his Titan, but forgets he can play a land from his graveyard. June just passes his turn. Chris casts Wall of Reverence and then gains 1 life at his instep. June casts Mercurial Chemister. Chris casts Spiritmonger and then gains 6 life at his instep. June casts Merciless Eviction, exiling all creatures, but on the stack, June taps his Chemistar and draws 2 cards. June casts Enigma Sphinx and cascades into Shriekmaw, which does nothing when it enters. Chris forbids the Sphinx, countering it. Chris also casts Intuition at the end of June's turn, finding either Sun Titan, Kokosho, or Nekuzar. With what he has in his hand, June decides to give Chris Kokosho, which Chris plays on his next turn. June plays Karthus, Tyrant of Jund, and takes Chris's Kokosho, and then attacks Chris for 15. Chris draws and reveals his next card, Mortipod, not getting him there, winning the game for the traitor.
Chris.
What?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
That is the player match right
Wow.
there.
Dragons have
player
wings.
Swing for 20 damage or 15 damage right now. Jesus, this isn't very good.
So good.
What are the chances?